Coal-burning power plants produce about one-fourth of the world's carbon emissions, so an increase in efficiency will reduce emissions. Producing the world's current coal-based electricity with doubled efficiency would save a wedge worth of carbon emissions. With the efficiency doubled, there will be an increase of distribution electricity demand from cogeneration and polygeneration.
Carbon emissions arise equally from providing electricity, transportation, and heat for industry and buildings. With building efficiency, we have a potential to cut emissions in half. We can cut emissions by 25% in all new and existing residential and commercial buildings.
Plants and soil contain large amounts of carbon, but with the removal of the forest, people are adding 1 to 2 billion tons of carbon somewhere else on the planet. Halting global deforestation in 50 years would provide one wedge of emission savings. With more plants and trees, less carbon is spread somewhere else on the planet. Forest storage betters the environment and makes the air cleaner.
With fuel switching for electricity, there will be a lower carbon content of natural gas and higher efficiency of natural gas plants. A wedge would require 1,400 large natural gas plants displacing similar coal-electric plants. When you go short distance or in a city, you use electric, but for highways for long distance, you would use gas. It's good because 1 billion tons of carbon per year would be emitted from natural gas power plants instead of 2 billion tons per year from coal-based power plants.
Coal-based synfuels result in nearly twice the carbon emissions of petroleum-derived fuels, since the larger amounts of excess carbon are released during the conversion of coal into liquid fuel. A wedge is an activity that over 50 years can capture the CO2 emissions from 180, such as coal to synfuel facilities.
One wedge worth of carbon-neutral biofuels would consume 1/6 of the world's cropland and roughly the size of India. Bioengineering to increase the efficiency of plant photosynthesis and use of crop residues could reduce the land demand. One wedge of biofuel saving would require increasing today's global ethanol production about 12 times and making it sustainable. Biofuels would be good for the environment and not too expensive.
Nuclear fusion provides 17% of the world's electricity and produces no CO2 with new nuclear electric plants to triple the world's current nuclear capacity would cut emissions by one wedge if coal plants were displaced. Nuclear fusion sounds good, but people fear that if the plant was damaged, it would cause damage to the people near the plant and the environment, but it will not be too expensive.
Wind hydrogen or photovoltaic cells currently provide less than 0.1% of global electricity. Achieving a wedge of emissions reduction would require increasing the development of photovoltaic cells by a factor of 150 years. Installing a wedge worth of photovoltaic would still require arrays with an area of 2 million. Wind hydrogen creates no CO2 and better helps the environment.